Part of what we're asking people to do is to shift their awareness so that they are actually focusing on three distinct areas. One is the awareness of self. The other is the awareness of what's happening for the person who is speaking. And then the last is holding the awareness of the group as a whole. So you can kind of picture that in your head as a diagram where when you are supervising this individual, you really want to be able to help them see the interconnectedness of each of those parts. So first, the awareness of self as the facilitator. Part of what you're doing, and we've discussed it in some of the other modules as well, is helping facilitators really track what's happening within them, that's their own stuff, and also what's happening in reaction or response to the people in the group or the person who's speaking. Because one of the things that can happen is if that is not developed in the facilitator, they can be reactive without understanding why. And we really want to wake that up in them, that awareness of body sensations, rising emotions, anything that's coming up in them so that they can move from reacting into responding in a more mindful way.
In supervision, we use the process note that they write to really help them develop that lens of their own self-awareness. And it's typically something that expands and grows through the course of supervision. We're also asking them on the supervision calls or video chats or how you're doing supervision to really be aware and track that awareness on a supervision call, even and especially when there's group supervision, that they can start to really tap into how they're feeling things in their body, what's moving within them as they think about an upcoming group or reflect back on the last group they led.
So you, as a supervisor, when you're listening for whether or not someone is being responsive or reactive, as a facilitator, you're listening and inquiring about why they chose to respond the way they did in a moment, or why they decided not to respond. What was the inclination? What was the barrier? What was the thought or emotion that came up? So whenever you hear someone say, check-in was difficult, and this person shared, group member shared something, you want to know, what did you do as the facilitator? And what happened within you that told you to do that or not do that? So you really want to get into the why and the process and not just focus on what they did or didn't